Zones in WoW are typically filled with mini quests, NPCs, and things to do. There is one big exception to this, and that is Deadwind Pass in Classic Era. Deadwind Pass has literally 0 quests, 0 NPCs, literally an empty zone that was put into the release of the game. In this video I'm going to be exploring around Deadwind Pass and looking at the strange details that makes this place so empty. But before we get into it, if you want to level up your WoW character as fast as possible, I highly recommend you guys get Zygor Guides. Zygor Guides gives you so many weird tips and tricks to optimize your leveling route and things that you never would have considered playing the game normally. And with Season of Discovery Phase 2 out, now is the perfect time to get it. You can get Zygor Guides clicking the link in the description below, and use code VOLTY to get 20% off. So WoW players will always have to go through Deadwind Pass playing classic WoW at one point of the game. Even going from Duskwood, this place is creepy. So there's this weird sign that gives you like a bad omen, and it basically tells you, "Abandon hope, ye who enter." To make things worse, there are some bodies hanging from a tree. So going through this zone, there's this cool bridge here, and you get to see a panorama of just how desolate this place is. And if you look off in the distance, you can actually see Karazhan from down here. So I found this path down here, and it leads to this place, this camp. This campsite has a campfire lit, but there's nobody here. There's not a single NPC. You can imagine a quest giver being here, but Blizzard just didn't put it in. So this place isn't actually completely empty. There are actually some mobs here to fight, and what's interesting is that there's some of these ogres, but there's no quest to fight these ogres. They're just like level 50-ish ogres you can fight. So here we get a nice view of Karazhan. Very cool view. Something weird is that there are these wisps, these lay sprites. I've never encountered this before because nobody really goes into Deadwind Pass, right? There are these wisps that attack you for like 10 damage, like 10 nature damage. They just do this, and despite being level 57 or whatever, they basically do no damage. I tried to find some info on them and couldn't find anything. It's very rare that you ever fight a wisp. I also came across what looked to be a bot. Now, something interesting is that Deadwind Pass has a long storied history of botting. Back in the days of vanilla WoW, as an actual vanilla WoW, botting in Deadwind Pass was actually quite popular. Namely because of these ogres that were, near max level, and nobody would come here normally, since, there's very little reason to come here. A lot of hunters set up botting operations in Deadwind Pass to avoid people getting reported, and I believe this hunter was a bot, and just automatically logged out when I came near. As you can see, Karazhan is very impressive looking. Another interesting thing is that there are these high-level ghosts around the area, and yeah, you can fight these, and these were other targets for bots back in the day. Because they're such a high level, they give you some nice silver and some decent greens and, stuff you can get. So this is the entrance to Karazhan, which of course never became a thing until TBC, but it's still quite fascinating that we were teased Karazhan before it even came out. This here is Karazhan Crypt, and I feel like this deserves its own video. I'd like to explore it in its own right, but as you can see, there's obviously something behind this gate. So something about wandering around this area is that it's kind of like apocalyptic. There's just this weird vibe to this place. It's almost like exploring Chernobyl. And if you look into the WoW lore, this place actually used to be part of Red Ridge Mountains, despite it not looking like it. So this bridge here is honestly really cool. Here's a side entrance to Karazhan. You gotta imagine back in the day people were so befuddled as to what this place was. There must have been so much speculation as to what this place was, and it honestly looks like this would have came out in Classic WoW, but Blizzard obviously never had the time to finish up. I think Deadwind Pass is a casualty in just how busy Blizzard were when they were developing vanilla WoW. They just had so much on their plate that Deadwind Pass never got the love it needed, and that's why it's so empty. There's not even any mining or herbalism nodes here. Like, it's such an anomaly that Blizzard would put an obviously unfinished zone like this into the game, but things were different back in 2004. Well guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, drop a like and sub for more exploration videos.